Welcome to Calm Mind English. There are days that seem to end on the clock, but not inside your mind. The room becomes quiet, the lights become soft, and still, a part of you is sitting somewhere in the middle of the day, holding one more thought, one more worry, one more small feeling you did not have time to understand. Tonight, you can let the day rest. You do not have to carry every unfinished thing into the dark. You do not have to explain the whole day to yourself before you are allowed to sleep. You do not have to turn every moment over in your mind until it finally makes sense. Some days leave behind a quiet mess, a message you did not answer, a task you wanted to finish, a conversation that stayed with you longer than expected, a small mistake that keeps returning, not because it was huge, but because your mind is tired and tired minds often hold small things too tightly. Maybe today was not terrible. Maybe nothing dramatic happened. But by the time night came, you felt full. Full of sounds, choices, faces, responsibilities, and thoughts that kept arriving before the last ones had time to leave. This is how a normal day can become heavy. You wake up and begin moving before your mind has fully arrived. You check your phone. You think about what has to be done. You answer people. You make decisions. You try to stay calm. You try to be useful. You try to keep up with the world as it keeps asking for more. By evening, your body may be sitting still, but your mind is still walking from room to room, looking for something it forgot. It checks the past. It checks tomorrow. It checks what someone said. It checks what you should have done. It checks what might happen if you are not prepared enough. And because the room is finally quiet, all the thoughts that had no space during the day begin to speak at once. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your mind has been holding many pieces. During the day, you may not have had time to feel everything clearly. You had to continue. You had to cook, drive, study, work, clean, answer, plan, or take care of someone. You had to move through life even when part of you needed a pause. So at night, when nothing else is asking you to move, your mind brings the pieces back. It brings the moment when you felt ignored. It brings the thing you forgot. It brings the pressure you pushed away. It brings the worry about money, health, family, work, time, or the future. It brings the quiet question of whether you are doing enough. But night does not have to become a meeting room for every worry. Night can be a place where the day is allowed to become still. Imagine your phone lying face down beside the bed. The screen is dark. The messages are still there, but they are not calling for you right now. The world has not disappeared, but it has stepped back for a while. You can do the same inside. You can let the unanswered things remain unanswered for a few hours. You can let the unfinished work stay where it is. You can let the conversation rest. You can let the mistake be a mistake, not a sentence about your whole life. A tired mind often wants one more answer before sleep. It says, just think about this for a little longer. Just solve this one thing. Just prepare a little more. Just replay it once more so you can understand what happened. But the more you push your tired mind to solve, the more tangled everything can feel. At night, the mind does not always need more analysis. Sometimes it needs a softer place to land. Think of a room after a long day. A chair is not perfectly placed. A blanket is folded only halfway. A cup sits near the bed. Nothing is perfect, but nothing is in danger. The room can wait until morning. Your inner room can wait too. Today does not need to be cleaned completely before you sleep. Your heart does not need to be perfectly calm before rest begins. Your thoughts do not need to line up neatly at the door. Sleep can meet you in the middle of the mess. This is one of the kindest things about night. It does not ask you to prove that you deserve rest. It does not ask for a perfect report of the day. It simply arrives, slowly and quietly, offering you a place where effort can become less important for a while. Maybe you did your best today, even if your best looked tired. Maybe you moved through the day with less energy than you wanted. Maybe you were not as patient as you hoped. Maybe you wanted to be more focused, more kind, more organized, more present. But you were living a real day, not a perfect one. Real days have interruptions. Real days have low energy. Real days have small disappointments. Real days have moments when you handle things well and moments when you simply get through them. Tonight, you do not need to judge the whole day. You can notice it gently. There was work. There was pressure. There were people. There were thoughts. There were things you handled and things you did not. And now, there is this room. There is this bed. There is this quiet hour when the day can stop asking you for more. Let your mind imagine placing the day on a small table beside you. You are not throwing it away. You are not pretending it did not happen. You are simply putting it down for the night. The day has had its time. Now your body needs its time. Your shoulders do not need to hold tomorrow. Your jaw does not need to hold the words you did not say. Your hands do not need to keep gripping a life that is already paused for the evening. You can let the day be a day, a full day, an imperfect day, a human day. And as the quiet settles around you, you may begin to feel that rest is not something you earn at the end of a flawless life. Rest is part of how you continue living. It is how the mind makes room. It is how the body returns to itself. It is how the heart, after carrying so much, learns to become lighter again. Tonight, you can let the day rest. Not because everything is finished, not because every question has been answered, but because you are allowed to stop carrying what cannot be carried well at this hour. Let the room be quiet. Let the phone stay dark. Let the small worries wait outside the door. The day is done enough for now, and you are allowed to rest inside that enough. There is a moment at night when the mind tries to turn into a judge. It reviews what you did. It reviews what you did not do. It speaks in a serious voice, as if the whole meaning of your life must be decided before you close your eyes. But your life does not need to be solved tonight. There are questions that feel urgent only because you are tired. There are problems that seem larger in the dark because your body has less strength to hold them. There are fears that sound believable at midnight, then become smaller when morning light enters the room. This is why stopping matters. Stopping is not the same as giving up. Giving up says there is no point. Stopping says this is not the hour for more effort. Giving up closes the door. Stopping closes the notebook and leaves the page for tomorrow. Imagine a notebook on a desk. The page is filled with half-written thoughts, crossed-out plans, and reminders. During the day, it looked useful. At night, it begins to look like pressure. So you close it. The words are still inside. The work is still there. But the notebook no longer needs to stay open in front of your face. This is what your mind can do with the day. You can close the inner notebook for now. You may have many things waiting for you. A decision, a bill, a conversation, a goal, a responsibility, a change you have been trying to make, a part of your life that feels unclear. But there is a difference between caring about your life and forcing your tired mind to fix it at the wrong time. At night, your thinking can become narrow. The mind may search for control, but it often finds fear. It may search for solutions, but it often finds the same circle again and again. You think of one problem, then another problem joins it. You think of tomorrow, then next month appears. You remember one mistake, then your mind connects it to an old fear. Soon, you are not dealing with one thing. You are carrying your whole life at once. No one can rest like that. So tonight, you can make one quiet choice. You can say, "This is real, but it is not for this moment. This worry is real, but it does not need my full attention right now. This problem matters, but I do not need to solve it from a tired body. This feeling is here, but I can let it sit beside me without letting it lead the night." There is comfort in knowing that rest does not require denial. You are not pretending everything is fine. You are not telling yourself that nothing matters. You are simply recognizing that some things become harder when you hold them too long without sleep. A hand that carries a bag for 1 minute can manage it. A hand that carries the same bag for hours begins to ache. The weight may not change, but the body changes under the weight. Your mind is similar. A worry carried through the whole day becomes heavier at night. A regret held without pause becomes sharper. A responsibility that has no break can begin to feel like your whole identity. Rest gives space between you and what you carry. That space is not weakness. It is protection. Many people think they need to stay mentally alert to stay safe. They believe if they keep thinking, they will prevent something from going wrong. If they keep planning, they will not fall behind. If they keep replaying, they will not make the same mistake again. But constant mental effort does not always make life safer. Sometimes it only makes the inner world louder. A calm mind is not a mind that ignores life. It is a mind that knows when to work and when to stop working. It knows that even important things can wait until the body has been cared for. Tonight is not a test of how strong you are. It is not a test of how productive you can be. It is not a test of how perfectly you can manage your emotions. Tonight can be simpler than that. It can be a quiet room, a closed notebook, a soft blanket, a body that has done enough moving, a mind that is learning to stop without fear. When you allow yourself to stop, you may notice discomfort at first. A part of you may say, "But what if I forget? What if I lose control? What if tomorrow becomes harder because I did not think enough tonight?" So write one small note if you need to. Put tomorrow's task in one place. Leave a reminder for the morning. Then let that note become the container. You do not need to keep every reminder alive inside your nervous system. Paper can hold a task. A calendar can hold a plan. A morning can hold a decision. Your heart does not have to hold everything at once. This is a gentle skill. Learning to pause is not natural for everyone. Some people grew up believing they had to be ready all the time. Some people learned to scan for problems. Some people became responsible early, and their minds still act as if rest is dangerous. If that is you, stopping may feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It may simply mean your body is learning a new kind of safety. A safety that does not come from controlling every detail. A safety that comes from knowing you can return to life after rest. You can close the day and still care. You can sleep and still be responsible. You can pause and still move forward tomorrow. You can stop thinking about a problem without abandoning yourself. Tonight, try not to make rest into another task. Do not demand perfect peace. Do not try to force every thought away. Let the thoughts come softer. Let them pass slower. Let them lose their sharp edges. A thought may appear, "I still have so much to do." You can answer gently, "Yes, and I am resting now." A worry may appear. What if tomorrow is difficult? You can answer gently. Tomorrow will have its own strength. A regret may appear. I wish I had done that differently. You can answer gently. I can learn later. I do not need to punish myself tonight. This is not a dramatic change. It is a small turning of the mind, away from pressure, toward permission, away from solving, toward resting, away from the belief that you must hold everything, toward the quiet truth that some things can wait. The night is not asking you to finish your life. It is asking you to let this day come to an end. The notebook can close. The page can wait. The room can become still. And you can stop for now without calling it failure. While you sleep, your mind does not disappear. It changes its work. During the day, your mind is busy receiving. It takes in words, images, faces, tasks, sounds, plans, and emotions. It listens, reacts, remembers, compares, decides, and adjusts. By night, it may feel as if everything is scattered. A small comment from the morning is lying next to an unfinished task from the afternoon. A worry about tomorrow is mixed with a memory from last year. A feeling you did not name is sitting beside a practical problem you need to solve. It can feel messy, but mess does not always mean damage. Sometimes mess means there has been too much coming in and not enough time to sort. Sleep gives the mind a quieter kind of time. Imagine a dark room where scattered papers slowly settle. No one is rushing. No one is demanding a perfect order. But gently, almost invisibly, things begin to move into place. One paper belongs here. One memory belongs there. One feeling no longer needs to sit in the center. One worry can move to the side. This is a soft image for what rest can do. Sleep does not erase your day. It helps your inner world find order again. During waking hours, you may think that you need to consciously understand everything. You may believe every feeling needs a reason, every mistake needs a lesson, every fear needs a plan. But the mind has quiet ways of processing that do not always need your direct control. Some things become clearer after sleep because your mind has stopped forcing them. A problem that felt impossible at night may feel more manageable in the morning. A conversation that felt painful may become less sharp. A decision that felt crowded by fear may have more space around it. The situation may be the same, but you are not the same after rest. This is why nighttime does not need to be filled with thinking. You are allowed to let your unconscious mind do some of the quiet work. There is wisdom in not holding every thought under a bright light. Some thoughts need darkness. Some feelings need time. Some memories need to settle without being pulled apart. A tired mind often wants certainty. It wants to know what every feeling means. It wants to decide whether the day was good or bad, whether you did enough, whether someone is upset, whether tomorrow will go well. But life is rarely that simple at night. At night, the mind often confuses tiredness with truth. It says, I am exhausted, so everything must be falling apart. It says, I feel unsure, so I must be lost. It says, I made one mistake, so I am not doing well. It says, I cannot fix this tonight, so I will never fix it. Sleep gently interrupts these false conclusions. It lets the mind step away from the loudest feeling and return to a wider view. This does not happen through force. It happens through release. The body lies still. The room grows quiet. The outside world becomes less demanding. Slowly, the mind stops reacting to every signal. The heart rate can soften. The muscles can stop preparing for the next task. The brain can begin to sort without needing words for everything. Some memories may be stored. Some emotions may lose intensity. Some information may connect in new ways. Some worries may become less urgent. You do not have to supervise this process. You do not have to stay awake to make sure your mind is doing it correctly. Sleep is older than your plans. Rest is wiser than your midnight panic. Your body and mind have been practicing this quiet repair for your whole life. Even when you do not understand it, something in you knows how to return toward balance. Think of a library after closing time. During the day, people came in and out. Books were opened, moved, left on tables, stacked in the wrong places. There was use, activity, and noise. At night, the doors close, the lights soften, and slowly, the room is restored. No one is angry at the books for being out of place. No one calls the day a failure because the tables were messy. The mess only means the library was used. Your mind was used today. It carried a living day. Of course there are thoughts out of place. Of course there are feelings left on tables. Of course there are unfinished pages. Sleep is the quiet librarian. It does not shame the mess. It simply begins to sort. This image can help when your thoughts feel crowded. Instead of trying to solve each one, you can imagine them as papers, books, small notes, and open pages. They do not need to be burned. They do not need to be hidden. They only need time to return to their shelves. One memory can become just a memory. One worry can become just a reminder. One feeling can become just a feeling passing through. One difficult moment can become part of the day, not the whole day. This is the gift of sleep. It gives proportion back to the mind. It helps the loud thing become one thing among many. It helps the painful moment lose its command over the whole room. It helps the body feel that life is not only pressure, but also rhythm. You may not wake up with every answer. That is not the promise. But you may wake up with a little more space, a little less sharpness, a little more ability to choose, a little more distance between you and the heaviness of today. That space matters. Many changes begin there, not with a sudden solution, not with a perfect plan, but with a mind that has been allowed to rest enough to see again. So tonight, let the sorting happen quietly. Let the papers settle. Let the books return slowly. Let the open pages wait. Your mind knows more than its anxious voice. Your body knows more than its tired fear. You do not have to organize the whole inner room by yourself. Sleep can help. Night can help. Time can help. And as you lie in the quiet, you can trust that not all healing announces itself. Some healing happens while nothing seems to be happening. Some order returns in silence. Some strength comes back before you can feel it. Tonight, your work is not to understand everything. Your work is to let yourself be carried into rest, where the mind can find its way back gently. Some parts of the day are heavier because they were never given a place to land. A sharp word, a tired response, a moment when you felt unseen, a small disappointment, a pressure you did not want to admit, a feeling you had to hide because life needed you to keep going. These things can follow you home. They can sit with you at dinner. They can stand in the hallway while you brush your teeth. They can lie beside you in bed, quiet but present. You may not even know exactly what is heavy. You only feel that something has come with you from the day. This is the kind of weight that does not always need a solution. Sometimes it needs permission to become quiet. Imagine a coat hanging by the door after a long day outside. It has carried the wind, the cold, the dust of the street, the shape of your movement. When you come home, you do not keep wearing it in bed. You hang it up. The coat still exists. The day still happened, but you no longer need to keep it on your body. Many emotions are like that. They were part of the day, but they do not need to cover you through the night. Regret can hang by the door. Pressure can hang by the door. The need to prove yourself can hang by the door. The words you wish you had said can hang by the door. The version of yourself you think you should have been can hang by the door. You can pick up what is useful tomorrow. But tonight, you do not have to sleep inside every emotion. There is a difference between feeling something and becoming surrounded by it. A hard feeling may visit you. It may need your attention. It may carry information. But at night, when your energy is low, you can meet it gently instead of wrestling with it. You can say, I see you. You can say, you were part of today. You can say, I will not fight you right now. You can say, you may become quiet while I rest. This is emotional release without force. It is not pushing feelings away. It is not pretending to be calm. It is allowing feelings to loosen their grip because they no longer need to protect you in this moment. Many difficult emotions are trying to help in a rough way. Regret tries to teach. Fear tries to prepare. Anger tries to defend. Sadness tries to show what mattered. Pressure tries to keep you from falling behind. But when these emotions stay too active at night, they can exhaust the body they are trying to protect. So the night offers another way. The night says, you can learn later. You can prepare later. You can speak later. You can repair later. For now, let the system settle. This is a quiet form of kindness. A person lying in bed after a long day does not need a lecture from their own mind. They do not need a full review of every weakness. They do not need another demand to become better before morning. They need shelter. They need softness. They need a place where the heart can stop standing guard. Maybe today you held back tears. Maybe you smiled when you were tired. Maybe you stayed patient while feeling stretched inside. Maybe you kept working while your mind wanted to pause. Maybe you gave care to others while your own heart felt thin. These things count. They may not look like achievements. No one may notice them. There may be no reward for getting through a hard day with a quiet face. But your body noticed. Your nervous system noticed. Your heart noticed. And tonight, these parts of you may be asking for less pressure. This is why sleep can feel emotional. When the lights go down, the heart sometimes lowers its defenses. The feelings that were waiting behind the tasks step forward. They do not come to hurt you. They come because the day finally became quiet enough for you to hear them. You do not have to answer all of them. You can let them sit in the room without giving them the whole bed. A feeling may rise, then soften. A memory may appear, then fade. A worry may speak, then lose energy. A heaviness may remain, but become less sharp. This is enough for tonight. Release does not always feel like a big change. Sometimes it feels like unclenching your hand around a thought. Sometimes it feels like letting your shoulders drop one small amount. Sometimes it feels like no longer arguing with the day. Sometimes it feels like saying, I cannot fix this now, and still allowing yourself to sleep. There is deep relief in not needing to win against your own mind. You can stop turning the day into a courtroom. You can stop calling every tired moment evidence. You can stop asking your heart to defend itself when it only needs rest. If something hurt today, it hurt. If something was disappointing, it was disappointing. If something felt unfair, it felt unfair. You do not need to make the feeling smaller by explaining it away. You also do not need to make it bigger by carrying it through the night. Let it be real. Then let it become quiet. Think again of the coat by the door. It will be there in the morning if you need it. But tonight, your body can lie down without its weight. The room is warm enough. The bed is safe enough. The outside world can stay outside for a while. The same can be true inside you. The day can stay near the door. The heavy parts can rest somewhere else. You can sleep without wearing every struggle. There may still be unfinished feelings. There may still be questions. There may still be things that need repair. But the night does not ask for perfection before peace. It only asks for a little space. Space between you and the pressure. Space between you and the regret. Space between you and the old habit of holding everything too tightly. In that space, rest can enter. Slowly, quietly, without needing to explain itself. Tonight, let the heavy parts become quiet. Not gone forever. Not solved completely. Just quiet enough for sleep to come closer. Quiet enough for your body to feel that it is no longer outside in the cold. Quiet enough for your heart to stop carrying the whole day alone. The body has its own way of speaking at night. It may speak through heavy eyelids, through a tight jaw, through shoulders that feel higher than they should, through a stomach that has been tense for hours, through hands that still feel ready to do something, even when there is nothing left to do. The body remembers the day. It remembers the hurry. It remembers the noise. It remembers the moment you had to stay calm. It remembers the time you pushed through fatigue because there was no other choice. It remembers more than the mind can explain. This is why rest is physical. It is not only a thought that says, "I should sleep now." It is the whole body learning that it can stop preparing for the next demand. Imagine a silent room where the world feels far away. Outside, life still exists. Cars may pass. Messages may wait. Tomorrow may be forming quietly somewhere beyond the window. But here, in this room, your body does not need to perform. It does not need to answer quickly. It does not need to look strong. It does not need to hold a careful face. It can simply be a body, a tired body, a living body, a body that has carried you through another day. During the day, your nervous system may move between many states: alert, focused, concerned, busy, patient, irritated, responsible, ready. Even small things can keep the body activated. A notification sound, a deadline, a conversation that requires attention, a child needing care, traffic, work, noise, a decision, a change in plans. The body responds to all of it, often before you notice. It tightens to protect you. It speeds up to help you act. It holds tension so you can continue. It keeps energy available in case something else is needed. This is useful during the day. But at night, the same readiness can become exhausting. The body may still be holding a shape of effort even after the effort has ended. This is why sleep is not only about closing your eyes. It is about sending the body a new message. The message is simple. The day is no longer asking you to act. You can stand down. You can soften. You can return. You do not have to force this message. The body often does not respond well to force at night. It responds better to quiet repetition, safety, warmth, and time. A muscle does not soften because someone criticizes it. A nervous system does not settle because someone orders it to relax. The body softens when it begins to believe that the moment is safe enough. So let the room help you. Let the darkness help you. Let the stillness help you. Let the simple fact that you are lying down become a signal. You are not in the middle of the day anymore. You are not standing in front of the problem anymore. You are not inside the conversation anymore. You are here. The body can slowly learn the difference. Your breathing may still feel busy at first. Your thoughts may still move. Your chest may still carry the rhythm of the day. That is all right. A body that has been active does not always become calm in one moment. It comes down in layers. First, the outer world becomes quieter. Then the muscles begin to notice. Then the breathing begins to find more space. Then the mind, seeing that the body is safer, may stop pushing so hard. This is one reason rest can feel slow. The body is not a machine that turns off with a switch. It is more like a room after many people have left. The sound does not vanish instantly. It fades. Footsteps become distant. Doors close. Air settles. The room remembers movement for a while, then becomes still. Your body can become still in the same way. You may notice your back supported by the bed. You may notice the weight of your arms. You may notice the space around your eyes. You may notice that your tongue does not need to press. You may notice that your hands do not need to hold anything. These small details are not meaningless. They are doorways back into the present. The present is often safer than the stories your mind tells at night. In the present, you are lying down. In the present, the day has passed. In the present, no one is asking you to solve everything. In the present, your body is allowed to receive rest. Energy does not always return through motivation. Sometimes it returns because the body finally stops leaking strength through tension. A tight body uses energy. A guarded body uses energy. A mind that keeps checking danger uses energy. When sleep begins to settle these systems, energy can slowly come back, not as excitement, but as quiet capacity. The kind of capacity that lets you wake up and wash your face. The kind that lets you answer one message. The kind that lets you try again without making a speech to yourself. The kind that helps life feel slightly more possible. This is enough. A reset does not have to feel dramatic. It can be silent. It can happen beneath awareness. It can be as simple as the body spending hours away from effort. Think of a phone charging beside the bed. It does not look powerful while it charges. It is still, dark, and quiet. But something is being restored because it is connected to what it needs. Your body also needs that kind of simple restoration. Stillness, darkness, warmth, safety, time. You do not need to earn these things by being perfect. They are basic needs for a human life. Tonight, let rest be practical. Let it be physical. Let it be a return of energy you do not have to create with willpower. Your body has carried thoughts, work, people, worries, and feelings. It has carried you through places you wanted to be and places you had to be. It has done quiet work all day. Now it can lie down. Now it can lower the guard. Now it can stop reaching toward the next thing. The world can wait beyond the room. Your tasks can wait inside tomorrow. Your plans can wait inside morning. For now, let the body remember that it belongs to the night. Let the muscles become less prepared. Let the breathing become less busy. Let the nervous system find its way down. Let energy return without being chased. There is nothing more you need to prove to deserve this rest. The body is tired. The night is here. That is enough. Morning does not need a perfect version of you. It does not need someone who has solved every problem in the night. It does not need someone who wakes up with a clear plan for the whole future. It does not need someone who feels completely healed, completely ready, or completely new. Morning can meet you gently. It can meet a person who rested a little, a person who is still learning, a person who still has questions, a person who is willing to begin again with less weight than before. This is a softer way to think about tomorrow. Many people go to sleep with the pressure to wake up transformed. They want tomorrow to be the day everything becomes organized, the day they become disciplined, the day they stop worrying, the day they finally become the person they have been trying to be. But this kind of pressure can make sleep feel like another assignment. Tonight, let tomorrow be smaller. Let tomorrow be a place where you take one step, not a stage where you must prove your whole worth. Soft morning light does not rush into the room all at once. It arrives slowly. It touches the edge of the bed, the wall, the floor, the quiet things that waited through the night. A new day can arrive like that too. Slowly, simply, without demanding that you become someone else before you stand up. Maybe tomorrow will still have work. Maybe there will still be messages, tasks, bills, plans, children, family, study, uncertainty, or responsibility. But tomorrow may also have a little more space because you did not spend the whole night fighting the day that already ended. That space matters. It may not change everything outside you, but it can change the way you enter the day. You may wake up and still feel tired, but less tangled. You may still remember the problem, but it may not cover the whole sky. You may still have a difficult task, but your body may have a little more patience to begin. This is how rest becomes a quiet beginning. It does not erase life. It gives you back enough of yourself to meet life again. There is no need to make a grand promise in the dark. You do not need to say, "Tomorrow I will fix everything." You do not need to rebuild your entire life before breakfast. You do not need to become strong in a way that feels hard and cold. A softer beginning may be more honest. Tomorrow, you can drink water. You can open the curtain. You can wash your face. You can answer one thing. You can choose one task. You can speak a little more gently to yourself. You can notice one person beside you. You can do the next small thing without turning it into a test. This is how life continues. Not always through big decisions. Often through small returns. Returning to the morning. Returning to the body. Returning to one simple action. Returning to the people you love. Returning to yourself after a day that made you feel far away. Tonight prepares that return. It does not prepare it by forcing you. It prepares it by letting you stop, by letting the mind sort, by letting the emotions become quiet, by letting the body reset, by letting the heart remember that it does not have to carry the whole world alone. Think of the day you just lived. It had its own weather. Some parts were clear. Some parts were heavy. Some parts were rushed. Some parts may still be hard to understand. But the weather of one day is not the climate of your whole life. A hard day is real. A tired night is real. A worried mind is real. But none of these is the whole truth about you. You are also the person who made it here. You are also the person who is allowed to rest. You are also the person who can begin again, not because life became easy, but because rest has given you a little room to move. This is enough for tomorrow. A little room, a little light, a little willingness, a little less weight. As morning comes, you do not have to rush to become certain. You can let the first moments be simple. Feet on the floor, light in the room, water in a glass. One quiet breath if it comes naturally. One small decision. The world may become loud again. but you do not have to meet it from the same heaviness you carried tonight. Let sleep do what it can. Let the night hold what it can. Let your body receive what it needs. And when morning comes, let it meet you as you are. Not perfect, not finished, not fully ready. Just rested enough to begin. That is a simple truth worth keeping close. You do not need to win the whole future tonight. You only need to let this day rest. Then tomorrow, when the light returns, take one small step with a little less weight.